The NBA is back. The Cavs and Warriors are off to a red-hot start. The Sixers and Bucks couldn't be colder, and half the league is already out with injuries. Still, all anyone in the basketball media wants to talk about is one thing: ratings. The league's TV viewership is down yet again. Everyone's pointing fingers. Some blame a lack of interest in foreign stars. To others, it's an over-reliance on three-pointers and a lack of variety. Maybe there's too much politics in the league. Maybe the broadcasters are the problem. Maybe a generation of stars are departing soon, and we don't know who's up next. All of these takes out there, and nobody's asking the basic question: who cares? Why do we talk about NBA ratings so often when the topic never seems to come up with other sports? For the amount of attention this issue gets, we never hear why fans should care. The reason is that they shouldn't. Here's why. First off, while league ratings are down, revenues couldn't be higher. The league just locked in $76 billion in TV rights for the next 11 years, nearly tripling the amount secured under the past rights cycle. That, paired with high attendances and a majority of teams seemingly willing to pay the luxury tax, means that the league is healthy financially. Still, let's say that some economic downturn happens tomorrow. Ratings get hit even worse, and revenues do actually take a hit. Guess what? The league will still be fine. Why? Because of the CBA. Under the league's collective bargaining agreement between players and owners, each are entitled to a roughly 50-50 split of basketball-related income. Since the 1980s, owners and players have acted as partners. When the league does well, they share the riches. That means when things get lean, they share the pain. It doesn't get brought up much, but the salary cap actually went down for a moment there in the post-Jordan Haze of the early 2000s. Still, the league survived. That's really the bottom line here. The league survives. Through labor strife, scandal, recession, pandemic, protest movement, the league lives on without even the thought of contraction. The whole reason we have a CBA and a salary cap is to create stability, ensuring costs are always controlled. That's why leagues that don't have either have clubs fall into bankruptcy. Can teams suffer losses in the short term? Sure. But again, fans shouldn't really care. None of these teams are publicly traded. None of us get a check if the league does well financially. You could even argue we shouldn't want our teams to be profitable. With all that, I hope I've convinced you that the state of NBA ratings is no big deal for fans. The league will live on. We'll still get to complain about load management, superstar treatment, or whatever we want to complain about this week. Still, I want to return to the question of why. Why do we talk about ratings in the first place? And I think the answer comes from who? The people most concerned by flagging ratings are members of the media. Whether they be national correspondents, bloggers, podcasters, or even schmucks on YouTube, they're the ones who keep raising the alarm bells. They're doing this because they rely on interest in the league to stay relevant and, more importantly, employed. As mentioned before, the league has locked in billions in contracts and has multiple streams of income. The media doesn't have the same luxury. So when you hear about declining ratings from your favorite pundit, they're not talking about the state of the league's business. They're talking about the state of their business. So to sum it up, do you need to care about NBA ratings? No. Do I need to? Yeah, I do.